Hey, I'm live. How does it get any better? Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Being You Changing the World book excerpt and daily dose of being. And as I mentioned, probably somewhere in the explanations, I will be reading a few pages from Being You Changing the World book by Dr. Dane here and just chat about it a little bit afterwards. And today I asked Universe Consciousness, show me which chapter, which topic will be the most contribution if we do it live and read it live. And it was totally being undefined. How does it get any better than this? And we start. How you be, my friend? Are you a bit uncomfortable? Cool, you're in the right place. Being uncomfortable is actually an awareness that change is underfoot. It's the way you know that the change and difference that you've been asking for is actually being created. What if that uncomfortableness was one of the greatest whiteness? It lets you know that you're headed in the direction of the difference you were asking for. Everything you and everybody else in the world around you has done to make you believe that being uncomfortable is wrongness and that you are wrong will you uncreate and destroy and uncreate it all. Now, please, right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all nine, shorts, boys, poems, and meals. And for those of you who will listen in the future, if you are wondering what the heck I'm saying, it is the Access Clearing Statement. You can check theclearingstatement.com to see what it's about. It basically erases, deletes the files of consideration, thoughts, feelings, emotions on any given topic. And when we say everything you and your body, anybody else in the world around you, has done to make you believe that being uncomfortable is a wrongness and that you are wrong, will destroy and uncreate it all. It helps destroy and uncreate on a more fundamental level that you don't have to even know, recognize where it's coming from. It just works like magic. And you can find more at theclearingstatement.com. Right and wrong, good and bad, put and poke, all nine, shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. So assume something, in other words, it's when something is totally different than what was your reality before is coming into existence that you feel that amazing discomfort because it doesn't come from the same place. It doesn't have any of the same parameters. You don't recognize it and you can't define it. So you assume something must be wrong. And that's actually the new thing showing up. My friends, would you be willing to ask this question every time something is uncomfortable? Is this actually the difference that I've been asking for showing up in a totally different way than I thought it was going to? What a beautiful question, right? Is this actually the difference that I've been asking for showing up in a totally different way than I thought it was going to? Would you be willing to be grateful for that? And just for 10 seconds, being grateful for the uncomfortable sensation that you have in your world. Let's do that. The 10 seconds of being grateful. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now breathe. The 10 seconds of gratitude. I'd really suggest that you try this in a daily life. When you feel like you are constricted, when you feel like you're stressed out, just breathe and give it a 10-second of gratitude just as an energy. 10, 9, 8, and count backwards and just breathe. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view that it is stressful. Interesting point of view that I have this point of view that I am annoyed at this moment. Breathe and just let it go and see what happens. Make it an interesting point of view. So, this is chapter 10 from Being You, Changing the World book. I will read a few more pages and chat about it. Are you ready to be undefined and magical? Let's walk in the forest. No, let's ride through it. And it's fall. It is fall now. The air is crisp and chilly. The last rays of the afternoon sun are searching for a place to sleep. The carpet of leaves is thick and soft, red and orange and yellow. A warm velvet body is moving with you under the naked branches of the dark trees. The dance of hooves is running through your body like the current of living. You are the horse is you. You are the space, the horse be, the space, the forest be, and the space you be. You have no more name, you have no past, and you have no definitions. In these 10 seconds, you have no idea of who you are or where you are heading. You don't know what it will look like further down the road, and you have stopped trying to figure it out. Perceive the magic of that just for a few moments, riding free. This is the space of being undefined. It is infinite possibilities. It is not often chosen in this reality, and therefore, it is one of the most uncomfortable places to be. It is a place I invite you to explore. Come with me. Let's play the game of getting lost and found. Many times I have heard people say, I feel great when I'm in a class. Everything is light, ease, joy, and possibilities. Then I go home, and a couple of weeks from down the line, it all contracts, gets squeezed back into that box again. And I ask, do you get squeezed or do you squeeze yourself back in there? Truth. More often than not, they laugh from recognition. Again, it's just a choice, your choice. You squeeze yourself back in the box. Do you recognize this? You have this moment of something completely different in nature, in class, in lovemaking, in meditation. This moment of total space, being undefined, unlimited, and then you seem to lose it, right? How many times does that happen? In access classes, if you have ever been to, we all feel that being expanded. Or when if you are practicing meditation or yoga, maybe another thing that you're practicing, you feel so spaced out. And nature, when you go hiking, when you be with the nature, everything seems possible. But then you go back to this reality, back to your families, back to your friends, back to society, your workplace, whatever it is, and then it all seems to be gone. What happened? And let's read along. You have been taught to always have a point of view about you. That is your safety and security net. What to accept, what to reject, whom to judge, how to judge you. It's all conclusions and judgments. If you are going to change something in your life, then what is required is that you undo all the conclusions in that area that are defining you. When you do that, you have no idea what is going on. You have no clue. And it is really disconcerting. How does it get any better than that? Have you ever been there at a point where you have no idea who you are? And did you automatically think it's a bad thing? What if being undefined were the greatest possibility there is? When you have no idea who you are, then you have to choose to create you and your reality. You can generate anything from the space. How liberating, how free is that? Since nothing defines you, undefined, you are pure magic, my friends. It feels just really, really weird. Really weird. Because we are so conditioned to define ourselves by this reality. We learn to define ourselves as to explain who we are, who we be, what we're doing, whose wife, child, whose friend, whose boyfriend, girlfriend we are, and what kind of a person we are. All these definitions are inherently limitations. And as an infinite being, we talk a lot about being an infinite being in access consciousness, and in a lot of modalities, actually. It is talked in a different verbal terminology, maybe, but it is always that some say it's your soul or spirit, but we talk about infinite being, which is the vast ocean of being that you truly be. And then you have this body and this being experiencing this life through this body. So simultaneously, you are the drop in the ocean and the ocean itself. So, and when you perceive everything through the eyes of your infinite being, can there be a limitation, a definition, a structure to who you really be? Or you can be and do anything required at a given moment. Because when you are undefined and when you have no point of view about good or bad, which is like positive and negative polarity, we think certain things are good to be, certain things are not acceptable to be or wrong to be. We have so many definitions about everything, but we also talk a lot about in being interesting point of view, making things interesting point of view. When there is something that bothers you, someone judging you, or you start judging yourself, making all of those interesting point of view starts taking you to that undefined place, because once you have no point of view, there is nothing to define. But everything is possible in that space. And that space is somewhere we are not really used to. Have you been hearing me? I wonder, because I just realized my microphone was away from me. How does it get any better? You hear me now, I hope. If not, I will have to end the stream and do it again. I wasn't aware that I had fallen off. Anyway. Let's go ahead. So, just letting go of crap and letting go of all the definitions that you thought were defining you. And those definitions make you feel like you belong somewhere, to your family, maybe, to your society, to your culture. And when you lose all the definitions and you have when you have the freedom of being everything that you can be at any given moment, that seems to be feel like nothing, because there is nothing. It's just an interesting point of view. And when there is nothing but just space, what we have learned is wow, it's empty, it's discomforting, and we start filling it up with points of views or definitions or structures, something that we can hold on to. What if you really did not require to do this? And what if in that undefined space you have the freedom of being everything you be, and everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive that, will you please destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and poke, all none, shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And because that space is so uncomfortable for us, it's not aligning and agreeing, resisting and reacting with anything. It just feels like nothing. We try to redefine ourselves, to put ourselves back into the box so you can relate to the members of your family, to your friends, to your coworkers, or whomever you want to relate yourself to. And people tend to look for definition of you so that they can relate to you. What if you can allow them to define you, but you do not have to buy into the definitions that they have um, given to you, put you in a box, trying to put you in a box? What if that doesn't have to be a reality, but it can be a interesting point of view? They think I'm this. Interesting point of view, they're judging me as being that or not being that. Interesting point of view, they have this point of view. Interesting point of view that I have to buy into this judgment, into this structure. Let it go and just be you and allow the space to be there. And what if you just approached it as an explorer? Explore the space. What is it like? What would you like to be in that 10 seconds? And the next 10 seconds, what would you like to choose? Let's read a few more paragraphs and close it up with that. I hope this sound is much better than this right now. Sometimes you get to this place of undefinition, and you could literally just sit on the couch and watch TV all day long just because. what happens is that motivation starts to go away, and most of the world is motivation uses motivation as the driving force for everything they choose. And the motivations are not always the good things. You'll see now. The motivation of not enough money, the motivation of not feeling good about their bodies or themselves, the motivation of feeling lonely, the motivation of fitting or winning or not losing. When motivation goes away, a lot of what created pain also goes away. And then you are suddenly asking, well, who am I then? What do I do here? What is going on? And this is where we squeeze ourselves back into the box, turn on our horse, and slowly trot away from the forest of difference and possibilities and back to the stable of normal, average, real of this reality, back to that stale, old, comfortable place, though our being would rather run free. We literally uncreate this new space we are becoming by defining and limiting ourselves again. And we have the most impressive and clever strategies for doing so. Let's look at them. Recreating grab. Some of the most common, interesting, and completely insane strategies we use is to recreate the traumatic and dramatic place we used to function from. Well, you were seeking the change, you were seeking the difference, and you have experienced that expanded space, and all of a sudden you're looking back into the crap. We're really insane, but we do that automatically. And just to be close to people, just to be relating to people, as we have discussed. And it's like the crap is familiar. In the crap, we know who we are, we can define ourselves, and that's what you think you require. It's like we have our own repetitive pattern that we use to keep ourselves defined and limited. Do you know exactly what you do personally to go back in order to return to the reference points of the defined you? Wow, does it feel good to hate myself this much? I know this. Wow, does it feels good to lose myself in relationships again? I know this. Wow, does it feel good to be angry that my girlfriend is flirting with someone else? I know this. So all of these, even though they're insanely crappy and uncomfortable, it is still more comfortable than the uncomfortable space of undefined you. How does it? It's just to realize that in every moment, because sometimes you can be that space and undefined you in certain moments or in certain areas, but there are still certain areas where we attach a lot of significance, a lot of importance, and we make them so real. We go back to that defined ourselves, defining ourselves, go back into that box, whatever it is that is for you. Some of us that might be relationship, for some of us it can be finances and money. Whatever that is for you, whatever your item is, notice yourselves when you go back to that definition, that contraction, and that problem, where your problems become your comfort zones. And everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, put on poke, all nine, shorts, boys, poads, and meals. And the crap goes on. Wow, does it feel good to feel like I have no money yet again and that I'm struggling against the world yet again? But I know this. Sometimes you are brilliant that you go back and recreate exactly what you just got out of, for the very reason that if you can get out of it again, then you really got out of it. Wow, how does it get even more clever than this? You recreate to prove that you can get out of it, or you make sure that you're worthy of the new space by recreating the limitation and showing your potency in uncreating it again. When you get yourself out of the second time, you go back and create it the third time. So, how many times do you have to recreate the crap and definitions before you actually allow yourself to have the freedom that you truly be? One time, five, 10, 50, 100, or unlimited? Are you following? Would you be willing to let that go away? And if so, will you destroy and uncreate all of that, please? right and wrong, good and bad, pot and poke, all nine, shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And would you be willing to be so out of control, out of definition, out of limitation, out of linearities, and out of form, structure, significance, out of concentricities for all eternity? And everything that doesn't allow it, will you please destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and poke, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. And what will it really take to be so undefined that you cannot put yourself into a box ever again? Thank you, my friends, for being here. And I'll see you next half an hour later. I'll be doing it in Turkish, another chapter. We'll see you there. Yarım saat sonra da Türkçe olarak bir bölüm bakacağız. Biraz konuşacağız. Bunun için neler mümkün? Hoşçakalın. See you later, guys. Bye.